Welcome back, everyone. It's the Bourbon Judge. Back at it, ready to have some fun. So a couple of days ago was the anniversary of the Bottled and Bond Act. So on March 3rd, just a couple of days ago, we all celebrated Bottled and Bond. And the Bottled and Bond Act obviously started back in 1897 on March 3rd, was signed. And so you think about bottled and bonds, what exactly does that mean? So essentially, all of the whiskey, in order to actually have this lovely label of bottled and bond, there's a lot of different rules. So some of the rules are, number one, it needs to come from one distiller, from actual one distillery as well. So one distiller from one distillery, and all of the whiskey needs to come from one distillation season. In addition, it has to come in at exactly 100 proof on the dot and aged at least 4 years. It can be more, but at least 4 years in a and the whiskey has to age in a government-controlled bonded warehouse. So those are all the rules as it relates to bottled and bond. And then when you think about why did even all that kind of come to be? It all came to be because prior to 1897, before this was really kind of kicked off, when people made whiskey years ago, I mean, going back before 1897, whiskey comes out, as we all know, it takes a long time to age whiskey. So what did a lot of people do? They did a lot of weird crap. Literally, they threw in tobacco, iodine, I mean, you name it, different other whiskeys at the time, or different other spirits, to try to either increase the flavor and or just to get it darker. So how do you do that? You just throw in a whole bunch of other crap, and literally, you had no clue exactly what you were drinking. So the purpose of the Bottled and Bond Act was really to put some rules around exactly what was going into the bottles, so that when you buy a bottle, you know exactly what you're getting, which is the most important thing, right? Quality and control, day in, day out. You're not drinking some whiskey that had iodine or tobacco mixed with it. So there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and kick it off today with, let's call it, to pay homage to the Bottled and Bond Act. I'm gonna give you the Bourbon Judge's favorite 5 bottled and bond bourbons. So my top 5 bottled and bond bourbons. And of course, you guys know me, the way I rock and roll. At the end, I will also throw in my lovely asterisk as well. I'm going to sip, though, the first 5. I'm not going to sip the asterisk just because, I mean, 5's enough. That's kind of pushing it, to be honest with you. I'm going to sip my 5. And, hey, do me a favor. Throughout this, obviously hit the like button. Obviously hit the subscribe button. But please do me a favor. Drop me a comment. Let me know if I didn't pick one of them. Let me know what's your favorite bottled and bond bourbon that's out there. Cool? All right. So, how can you even say you're one of your favorite bottled and bonds without the men who helped to create the Bottled and Bond Act? None other than, and the whiskey's pretty damn good too, E.H. Teller. So E.H. Teller, who helped to create the Bottled and Bond Act, helped all this to come to fruition. I'm going to take this out as well. This obviously comes in from Buffalo Trace. When you're buying this, typically from an MSRP, actually it's only like a $40, $45 bottle. Of course, don't get me wrong, I get it. A lot of times when you find it, if you do find it, it's going to be marked up a little bit more, sometimes $60, $70, $80, which is ridiculous. But this is honestly a fantastic bottle of whiskey. One of my favorites. Again, I'm giving you guys my 5 favorite bottled and bonds. And E.H. Teller is right up there with them, right? And all of these are not in order, by the way. These are just my 5 favorite as a whole. So E.H. Teller from Buffalo Trace, $45 bottle. Absolutely an amazing quality product day in, day out. I don't even know how many bottles of this I've had in my life. Probably way too many. But honestly, a fantastic product. If you've not had it before, please make sure you definitely find it. Don't pay ridiculous amounts of money for it. Again, MSRP is like $45, $50. So if you can find it for that, great. If you find it for like $100, $200, let's not go crazy. But it is honestly a fantastic quality product. So go ahead and get a little pour here real quick. A little sip. I always love classic H. Teller. I will say this is such a wonderful and well-rounded whiskey, bourbon whiskey. Truly amazing. Tons of traditional notes like your caramel, brown sugar, vanilla, smidge of cinnamon. Not too spicy. All right. Cheers, everybody. That's such damn good bourbon. That's really good bourbon. Very nice, very elegant, very sweet. It's like just the perfect experience, honestly. And I'm going to finish this because why not? Absolutely amazing. Great quality. All right, so that's the first one on the list. Going to my second Now you guys know me. You know how much I love this distillery because number one, consistency. Number two, price point. This bottle is only $40. You can find it for the most part. It's pretty easy to find, where this one is a lot harder to find. This next one, you can find it for the most part. Maybe not in every single state or in every single city, but with a little bit of hunting. I really can't even use the word hunting because it's honestly a bourbon that is really never, you'll never see this bourbon on secondary because it's just great quality, but it doesn't have the Buffalo Trace name with it, so that you'll never find it on secondary. But it's damn good quality whiskey. $17.92. Bottled in bond, of course, shocker. Absolutely an amazing bottle. So amazing I even broke the cap. I'm using a old Sagamore cap. In case you ever break the cap for a $17.92 product. Just so you know, Sagamore caps fit very well. Oh man. But honestly, a $40 bottle, amazing. I mean, in the Northeast, I've seen it down south. You can find this bottle all over. I'm a huge $17.92 fan. I know a lot of times when you sip their bourbons, you know, you get like very, very traditional notes, but you also pick up some fruit, like some apples, some bananas as well. I am a huge $17.92 fan. Absolutely amazing quality, day in, day out. Every single bottle that I've ever had. Oh gosh, and traditional notes. It just screams bananas. I mean, literally, it's so funny actually in a lot of ways. Banana, honey, apples, and caramel. I love it. Oh gosh. Cheers, everybody. Appreciate everyone out there. Thank you for watching The Bourbon Judge. Woo! That is mighty tasty. A little bit of some nuts in there in the back, too. On the back palate, which is really nice. A little bit of nutty in the back. Mostly bananas and apples in the front. And a ton, not a ton, but a good bit of some nuts in the back and in the palate and the finish. Nice and long, completely different too from each other, completely different. All right, number 3. So the third one, slightly hard to find. I've actually only found this bottle a couple times, actually primarily in the South. So I've not seen it in the Northeast by me. I'm not saying that they don't sell it up here. I've just never seen it myself personally. And I'm out there quite often, as you know, hunting and just exploring, as they say. Coming from another fantastic Kentucky distillery, Heaven Hill Bottled in Bond. Absolutely an amazing bottle. I got this down in Atlanta. I think it was in Atlanta when I bought this. It was like 60, I think it was like $60 when I found it. It might be a little bit more, it may be even a little bit cheaper depending on where you live. But when I found it in Atlanta, it was about $60-ish. Great quality. I'll tell you the reason why I like this a lot. Of these two, really of these three, I should say, this one is the one that I find is probably the most smoky. It has like very peppery and smoky, and not smoky like Michter's where it's like campfire sweet. More traditional smoky and just more spicy. Actually, I should probably say it's probably the spiciest of these three. And it could be the mash bill and maybe even like the barrels that they're using. Cheers, everybody. Ooh. Always has that almost like a black licorice in the back of the palate. Very nice, peppery, still traditional notes like your caramel in there and brown sugar, but very peppery as a whole. And that's the reason why I love that whiskey. Damn good. All right. Next, we're gonna go to the Wild Scientist. I gotta give love because I really honestly respect the hell out of this distillery. New, upcoming, not really new anymore. They've been around for a while now, but still just making great whiskey. I feel like each and every batch that they produce is always getting better. I actually just bought a barrel strength rye of their product today, actually, oddly enough. So I gotta go with Wilderness Trail. Why do I like this one? I like it because it's completely different than these three. In the fact that this one, whenever I sip it, it's very sweet. It has a lot more of like maple syrup notes, caramel maple syrup. It's almost like, honestly, breakfast or brunch with some pancakes. That's this one right here. Very sweet. Very just hits home for the Bourbon Judge. It really does. This is a bottle that I've had, again, I can't even count how many I've had of this one because I just love Wilderness Trail products as a whole. Again, not a ton of hunting involved. I mean, you have to go to a couple stores. Don't get me wrong. Depending on where you live, you have to go to a couple of different stores, but always priced very fair $45, $50, so not extremely expensive. There's no hunting for it. There's no huge secondary for it. And I love that. It's actually just good whiskey that you can actually find without all the hunting and secondary and all the other crazy shenanigans that is filled, let's call it our whiskey world. So, really good. Hey, I say this each and every week, and I mean it. Honestly, peace, cheers, salute. I appreciate everyone out there. Thank you all, ladies and men. Thank you all for watching The Bourbon Judge. No matter if you're here in the U.S., I got my friends overseas, my girl Leanne over in the UK, my buddy Steve up in Canada. No matter if you're here in the U.S. or overseas, cheers to everyone. Much love, respect. I appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you very much. Woo! It's just, it always is home. Very sweet. A little bit of maple syrup, some caramel, a little bit of vanilla. I love this one because it's probably the sweetest of these four. Just so different. So you get a different experience because of different, you know, obviously, well, of course, different mash bills, different yeast strains, different where they're getting the barrels from, the aging, everything. It's always just so different. Oh, man. The last but not least, other than the asterisk, last but not least, so this was previously owned by Brown-Forman, which is this bottle here. Now it's owned by Sazerac. And for $25, I don't know if you think about from a quality perspective, might be the best of these five from a quality and related to the price. When you combine those two together, Early Times, Bottled and Bond, absolutely just ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. An amazing product, day in, day out. Truly amazing. Truly fantastic quality. I've had, gosh, Cousin Nita and I have enjoyed this bottle a lot. This is, I know, so if you ever watched the channel before, Cousin Nita loves Four Roses as a whole. Everything Four Roses related. But if she had like a second go-to, it's probably Early Times. She loves, and I mean loves herself, some Early Times. Great quality. Both are great. When it was with Brown-Forman and even now with Sazerac, both great quality products, day in, day out. Cheers, everybody. Oh, man. That is just such a traditional Early Times. Great quality. Caramel and brown sugar. It starts there and it ends there. Absolutely one of the best bottles out there. And a full liter. We're not talking about 750 milliliters. A full liter. $25. If you can find it, grab it. Grab two, maybe even grab three, because it's that damn good. All right. Now, time for the asterisk. So why did I have the asterisk and why did I pick this bottle? The bottle I'm picking, the reason why it's an asterisk, because it is a bottled and bond, obviously, product, but it's a bit pricier. Where all these were 25 to, I think the most expensive was probably this one here, like 60-ish. The asterisk is a little bit more expensive. It's a beautiful bottle, so if you can find it at MSRP, anywhere from like $100 to $125, depending on which version that you get. If you can find it at MSRP and you're not find it priced, I know a lot of times if you do see it, it might be marked up even a lot more because unfortunately, so many different liquor stores are marking things up this day and age. But if you can truly find it at MSRP, about $125-ish, again, kind of depending where you live. To me, it's absolutely an amazing experience day in, day out. And honestly, even when you finish the bottle, you might as well use the bottle as a decanter because it's just a beautiful experience from the start to the ending. This one I'm not sipping because I only brought 5 glasses down. I should have brought 6, but that's a bit much, even for the Bourbon Judge. So for my asterisk, none other than Old Forester. Now, I'm sorry, Old Forester, goodness gracious. Old Fitzgerald, Bottled and Bond. This is the 13-year age. They have different ones, 11 and 9 and so forth. But honestly, any Old Fitzgerald, age 13, 11, 9, whichever one that you get, I've never had a bad bottle of those. Every single one, each and every one, I've never ever had a bad bottle of Old Fitzgerald Bottled and Bond. Absolutely an amazing quality product. Day in, day out. And as you can tell, it's pretty damn beautiful. Hey, until the next time, peace, cheers, salute. Peace, everyone. Take care.